Hello, welcome Saints Nation. We are getting ready for our very first TESPA Call of Duty match. Florida State University versus St. Clair College. My name's Dan Banner, one of your hosts here today. And joining me today, we have Jackson Brown. Deprive, welcome back to the commentary desk. How you doing, man?
Yeah, how are you guys all doing today? I'm doing good, and I'm excited for a good close matchup here against FSU. And we got a season opener. We're really gonna see the first looks at these rosters for the year, and I'm just quite excited to get underway with this match.
Absolutely. Definitely going to be an interesting one. Before we do get started, let's take a look at who this starting roster is for St. Clair, because this is going to be the first time that we get to take a look at them. And I have you go through and see who we got here.
Yeah, so we got Dawson starting us off here, aka Lavelle, and he is the coach for this roster as well as Zarin, and we got Justin Priestley. We got Trent Sauce, which we will have a video coming up for you guys soon here. We got Nathan Corius MP, one of the rookies here. Luca Pressa, and yeah, that's the five we got starting us off for our Call of Duty roster today. And yeah, we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled, see who the new stars are for the team, as we got quite a bit of freshmen on our roster here. And I'm just excited to see how some of these new players perform.
Absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
You, man.
I was going to say, absolutely looking forward to this one. I know we got to see them in action a little bit on their own personal streams in the gunfight tournaments. Now, one of those players being Trent Sovereign, also known as Sauce, who we have a little bit of an intro for. Take a look and see what he's all about.
Hey, my name's Trent, also known as Sauce, and I'm a flex player for the varsity Call of Duty team at St. Clair.
Up here, only Sauce left to try and defend this defuse, and I don't think... Oh, I might be able to delay at least a little bit. Does find the one on the toddy, but can he stop 4 people from defusing that thing? I don't think he's going to be able to. Somebody is trying at the moment. He's going to peek. He's going to spray.
He finds it!
3.
11 seconds left. It does take 7 seconds to defuse this bomb. Armor and Roar the last 2 seconds, and they can't defuse it now. St. Clair out of nowhere being clutched up by Sauce.
So I started playing Call of Duty back on like MW2 when I was like 10 years old, and I'd played games before like Chell and like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but nothing compared to Call of Duty because this was my first online experience ever.
Be an important kill indeed. Sauce is gonna find one in the corner and wins the fight on the future.
So last year was the first year I ever played Call of Duty competitively, and it was a huge learning curve going from just sniping and trick shotting all the way to competitive, and most of the guys were pretty new to competitive on the team as well, so it was a huge learning curve for all of us. That's why I'm so excited for this year, because we're gonna go in with a year of knowledge of how to play the game competitively while it's also maintaining the same level of gun skill. It's crazy to think that last year I didn't even know simple COD terminology like ego chowing and body shots. Like I had no idea what that was at the beginning of the year.
Right now, and we're going to see them all some push out as soon as they're able to. This is a whole 60 hells, and how many times do we see that? Oh my God, Sauce, you can't do that to him on stream. Very nice rip by Zook, and he finds the best team on Sauce, you maniac. What are you doing?
The thing I like most about playing Call of Duty on a varsity team is just chilling with all the boys on the team. Everyone on the team is super chill and we all get along really well. And we also have common interests outside of gaming, like hockey for example. So I'm blessed that I got paired with some really great teammates.
And now B, we're gonna be retaken by Liberty Red. Sauce not giving up the C flag just yet. As 1 minute and 52 seconds back on this, and look at Sauce go!
So my goals for this year are to become a smarter player while keeping my comms up and keeping the same level of gun skill. Like I said, last year was my first year playing competitively, so I feel like I have a lot more competitive knowledge this year that I want to bring to the table. As for our team, I want to make playoffs this year and make a huge playoff run. Last year we kind of got cut short. We had to play the #1 team first round of the playoffs, so we kind of got screwed over there. But this year I have high hopes. Our team's going to be nasty, and I definitely think we can do it in Cold War.
Team that looks a little bit close and maybe a bit shaky. That's a nice snap from Sauce comes in, he picks up the release. Yeah, this man just took them all.
So outside of gaming, some hobbies I have are hockey, hanging out with friends, working out, playing the drums, and a whole bunch more.
On that side, definitely want to try to hold on to the C side of the map, but I mean, Gucci Gang Sauce, oh my god!
It can be kind of difficult sometimes trying to balance 2 jobs, school, being on a Call of Duty varsity team, while it's also trying to have fun just doing other things, but with decent organization, you can definitely get it done.
20-7 for Sauce. You cannot be serious.
So my plans after graduation at St. Clair are to head over to the University of Windsor and complete 2 years there so I can get my full business degree. As far as where in the business field I want to land, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of leaning towards analytics, but I'm not too positive on what I want to do. But we'll see what the future has in store for me. Anyways, it's been your boy Sauce, or Trent, from St. Clair's varsity Call of Duty team. See you guys later. Peace.
An absolutely fantastic time seeing him during the esports club days, watching him, Dawson, and the rest of the team move up into varsity status. And now we're going to get to see them in action momentarily. Now, trying to see the maps. Did you happen to have the maps by chance for this first game?
I would not have the maps actually for the first game. I do not. I sorry, apologize about that one.
No,
but
I feel like I was supposed to tell you that one prior to the fact. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. But we'll take a look momentarily. All I do know is that it's going to be Hardpoint to start things off, and Azir Cave is where we're going. Can you tell me a little bit about Hardpoint? What are we going to be looking at?
One thing for Azir Cave Hardpoint is you're going to see a lot of assault rifle players holding longer angles, and you're going to see less run gunning SMG. These players in Azir Cave, you have to rotate very, very far to get from one side of one hill to the next hill. It's going to take a lot of transition time, and you're going to see players rotating and getting on these sites early to take control of the site and help them out in this game a little bit. It's a tough thing to do. You're going to see so many players along the maps that are not just in the hill. They're doing so much support work on Azir Cave, and Hardpoint has so much to do with the future of the game. They're not going to be thinking about the now. They're going to be thinking about 2 steps ahead. Whoever can think like 2 more steps ahead of the other team, that's who I think is going to come on top of this map.
Right, because of course, in this one specifically, the area, like, you're trying to capture an area, but that area is constantly on the move, if I recall correctly, correct?
Yes, exactly. There's 5 areas. There's going to be about 2 to 3 rotations depending on how long this game goes. But they're going to have to be rotating between those 5 hills every minute. So every second on those hills, you're going to get a point. But by the sounds of it, we got a game underway here.
That we do. Hopping right into the swing of things. On the blue side, we're going to have Florida State University. Then in the red, St. Clair College going to be, as we move forward, our first hard points.
So it looks like we got a few people on FSU rocking the Dawson clan tag. I mean, are they calling out Lavelle or something here? But Florida State University starting off pretty well. I mean, they are out fragging completely over St. Clair right now. St. Clair only being able to find a few of these entry kills on this first hard point. I mean, you're going to have the side of the side of St. Clair has the better spawns here. So this is, if you are St. Clair, this is exactly where you want to be. This is exactly the side you want to start on. So St. Clair right now trying to just get as much of this point as they can, and they are doing a great job of it as they're already set up for next. Florida State, you're going to see players 1 and 5 down on that mini-map there try to rotate through the back and try to get those spawns for the next. I mean, Pressa, as you see here, he is sitting up on the second hill, and you're just going to try to wait for them to come in, and here they are. XL, you're going to try to find as much as he can there down this front cave area, but he's going to get picked off by Lavelle. Priestley going to find Grogmouth, and here we are. I mean, Lavelle is in prime positioning right here to just keep picking them off of this hill.
Well, sort of flank, a little bit over aggression, however. Grog going to shut him down nice and quick. A little bit of a battle for the hard point itself. Might be going over to St. Clair's favor, but constantly fragging back and forth. Lavelle goes down. Who's number 9 here? That's Sauce. He's right there, but he gets taken down as well. It's going to be flipped over to Florida State University for the time being, at least.
Yeah, that's 5 down for St. Clair, and that's going to make them have a lot harder of a time, especially since you see the players from FSU already set up in that next hill, where Florida State's got all the St. Clair players trapped in the back here. So they're just able to finally break out now, get the last second on that hill or so. But now they're in a tough positioning trying to rotate over this next site. Well, Florida State has full control of it, and it doesn't look like they're giving it up anytime soon.
And Preza finds one, and now Sauce manages to win his gunfight there as they slowly start moving towards that hard point. But there's going to be 3 more members. The reinforcements are coming here for Florida State University, and they still have some time, so it's definitely worth contesting. Sauce with a bit of a flank finds one. Can he get into position for another? Not quite, however. Going to be taken down by Lap.
Yeah, I mean, there's Corius MP trying to make a play, unable to do so. There's way too many players on the side of FSU just sitting there waiting for someone to try to do that. And I think this is now where St. Clair's going to say, hey, guys, let's call it. We're not going to play a short-term game here to try to get these last 15 points. Play the long-term, try to get to this next hill and get the full 60. And doing so to start us off with Preza almost finding 2, but only 1 there. I mean, Priestley going to clean it up, and that is going to give St. Clair control on this new hill. I mean, it was getting a little bit scary there. But now that they got this hill, that's it's a lot more beneficial to them. One thing that is a little bit of a mix-up here is if you see the blue scoreboard is actually going towards St. Clair, and the red scoreboard is actually
I was
going
about to ask you about that.
Yeah.
That seemed really odd to me for a second, why it was flipped like that. Callcaster, please. I'm still learning you. But, yeah, so it's going to be the 53 and counting for St. Clair.
Yeah,
That is an odd one.
Opposites. Yeah, I mean, it's happened before, but not a huge deal. We can definitely get that fixed around for the next map here. But starting us off, oh, there we go. It looks like it just got it fixed. It's like flips itself. It's weird. Anyways, moving forward, yeah, you're gonna see St. Clair get a little bit of points off that hill there before they go down, and now you're gonna see Preza all set up in this next hill. St. Clair looking good for their next setup here. I mean, their first two, their first line of entry falls now, though. They're going to have to rely on Corius MP holding this little side tunnel here. This is going to be big from him. He's going to have to go hard.
Absolutely on point right now. Preza still holding the fort, but they're slowly starting to come in from all angles as we do see here the bottom. Here, Preza, if I can get this thing to switch over, please. But there we go. It's going to be Preza trying to just base check versus a couple of them. 4 members there, not going to go in his favor in the slightest. Has to be stopped by Sauce. That's going to be a grenade, though, I believe, from Curious, who's going to find himself a double. Is going to eventually go down. Sauce goes down as well, but there is some reinforcements nearby. Continuously just pounding away at this objective, but the hard point is going to be flipped on over to the side of Florida State.
I mean, St. Clair did a great job. They're getting the first 40 seconds. I mean, you're going to take control of the majority of that hill, and it also gives you the option to set up for next and get ready for it. It doesn't look like they're actually able to do so, though. I mean, Florida State's just going to have control of that right away. They're solely just winning these gunfights more or less right here now. Definitely going to see Corius MP, the rookie, need to try to get a little bit more damage done here. Priestley playing amazing, 18 and 14 with half a minute in the hill, as well as Preza and Priestley definitely putting in the work right now. And the biggest thing for St. Clair right now is Florida State is just solely out-killing them. That's the biggest thing. They're playing smart. St. Clair's got the plays. They just need to win these gunfights, and the game is theirs, in my opinion.
I mean, positioning could only do you so far if you are, like, outnumbered. It's going to catch up to you eventually. You see, that was Priestley goes down, Preza getting taken out as well, but this area is still nicely controlled by St. Clair for the time being, at least. Nice little shot there from Sauce, taken down. Grogmoth looking for a second, but it's already been taken down, and they're going to start shifting as the new point is now available.
Yeah, I mean, St. Clair pulled this from an 80-point game to a 40-point game now. So it's a little bit better for them. I mean, this is the hill where they kind of fell behind last time. So this is where they're really gonna have to step it up and show that, hey, it's just a fluke on the first time. But I mean, hey, Saucy gonna fall again after he gets one, and there it goes. Corius and Preza fall right after that, and this is gonna make it very, very hard to break this site.
I was looking a little bit rough there. It felt like every time I was switching over to a St. Clair player, they were instantly falling within a few seconds later. So some decent defensive positioning coming out here from Florida State University. They're trying to break it, but there always seems to be an answer coming out from FSU as Grogmoth finds himself a triple in a quick succession. Nicely done there. So only 10 seconds left on this hard point. And so far, so good for FSU.
Yeah, I mean, FSU definitely pulling away here now, only needing 43 more points to close this out. And I mean, St. Clair thankfully has got control of this next site, making it a little bit more game on our hands here. But just like that, they're going to get 2, 3 for the side of FSU. St. Clair still able to hold on, but not a lot of reinforcements there for St. Clair. As you're going to see Florida State make their push right here. 3 falling from St. Clair. There's 4. And there it is. FSU is now taking control of that site. Definitely making it a lot harder on the boys. Pressa going to have to come in here. Find some players quick. There, he finds the one that's holding down that hill. He finds 2. Pressa going off. That is 5 down for St. Clair, and they should have these last 25 seconds. And this is where you're going to want to see some St. Clair players rotate over to the next site again. And like I said, play the long game. Don't play the short game.
Yeah, even to the point where nobody even has control of the point, just giving it up early just to make sure they have that proper positioning. As we see Pressa move in, finding one, Lavelle finds another, and Curious is going to keep it going as they're able to control that top section. Nice and clean so far. A little bit of a late rotates coming from FSU, but they're breaking in via the gunfights once again.
Yeah, Pressa had a tough time there. He got double pushed by 2 players. It's a really tough thing to take control of. And just like that, I mean, Florida State's got control of this site again, and that's kind of scary. I mean, this is definitely a winnable hill for them. This is one where they can clean up the game. You get in prime positioning here real quick. But just like that, 4 down for St. Clair now, and they're able to retake control of that site. And there's one for Priestley. Can he find another? Unable to do so. As K-Cell will find one. Lavelle going to find K-Cell with the nade as a good trade comes down from him. And St. Clair pulling it back a little bit as best they can, but there's only so much you can do when FSU's 15 points away from winning this whole game.
Does not give you very much wiggle room to make something happen here, and it's definitely pressure on now for St. Clair as we're just points away. But can they even make it there? They're going to have to at least make it to this new hard point, and they have to really blitz it. But at the same time, FSU knows this, looking to set up a defensive formation as quick as possible. Slightly outnumbered, but at the same time, their positioning seems to be strong overall. Nobody in control until just this moment. This might be enough to take care of it. FSU going to take this first game.
Yeah, I mean, St. Clair did as best they can to hang on there and try to get some points. But there's only so much you can do when you're getting outgunned by the opposing team. I mean, just like that prime example coming. Oh, I mean, sorry, this was Priestley. But Priestley, let's see how he finds 2 there for the play of the game. But yeah, see, like you can see by the stats here, there's only so much you can do when you've got most of these players on. Yeah, only so much you can do there when Florida State is getting those prime position kills right away.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this is the first time we've gotten the chance to broadcast Call of Duty, so unfortunately finding myself in a few overlay mix-ups. Sorry if that was hard to follow, but it's only going to go up from here. And hopefully for St. Clair, it's only going to go up in regards to this matchup. A solid first round for FSU. But do you have any additional notes for St. Clair moving into our next map?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that game was a huge blowout. So this is still anybody's series. It's up in the air. But with that, I mean, St. Clair, they followed by 90 points about there, and it's gonna make it tough. But one thing I really feel like I need to see St. Clair do to improve for this next hardpoint game in the future is get more people playing closer to the hill, more people playing around the hill, so people can hop right. Don't only have the one person playing objective, having more people like a flex player who can hop on the hill if that objective player falls. Just having some people play closer to the site instead of more support. That's the biggest thing I saw from watching. And yeah, like I said, overall close game. It's just those close gunfights that St. Clair's got to take the wins on. And yeah, it's definitely only up from here, hopefully, for them. But overall, not a terrible first map to start off the season. I mean, they are all still just getting used to each other's play styles, all still just getting used to how each other play together. And yeah, we're just going to see only improvements with the teamwork, especially moving forward in the series by means. I mean, the search and destroy is going to be very crucial for these kills because I mean, hardpoint, you have the option to play the objective. Search and destroy, all about the kills. You're going to have to win these gunfights this time. So I just really hope they can step it up and turn that around in the second map here.
Of course, search and destroy, a mode that I'm a little bit more familiar with, but we'll have to wait a brief moment. We're just changing hosts, so in the meantime, we're going to take a very quick break before we get into game number 2. Please do stay tuned. It won't be very long.